Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to our today's session, which you very well know is on vocabulary building. It is part 3. I have also discussed what I intend to do today. It would be the Sasigala case Supreme Court verdict is what we will be taking you through. We will discuss all the words that the judge used. It is a piece of wonderful writing, I'll say. I just loved it. So I thought I'll just take you through it. So that is the agenda. We will very simple, learn few words. Okay, this I don't think is needed, so I'll just move out of the screen and get to the work straight away. Okay, so guys, just try to note down the meanings. We will just do it like the last time. We will go through it. I'll just keep telling you the meaning, and then at the end we will just do a quick revision. So that would help us cement few words. It's a wonderful piece of writing, as I've already mentioned. I'll keep reiterating that, but yeah, let's kind of start with it. Please provide the answer for the probability. You don't want to think? Okay, the answer is 71. Please keep thinking. I think Shekhar has already got it. He has explained it in great detail. I think we had a good discussion on what would be the problem cases, not. So if you don't want to think, the answer is 71, but I'll still like you to think over it. Okay, if you want to read the explanation, I think Shekhar has done on our YouTube channel. In the comment section on that video he has explained it. You will see our conversation, you will understand whatever there was to understand in it. Okay, so let us just move ahead. A few disquieting thoughts. Amazing writing. I told you I'll just keep reiterating it. Disquieting. What is disquieting? Something which induces the feeling of anxiety or worry. That is disquieting thought. So what is happening is this judge, on Sasigala's verdict, he is sitting down and he thinks that it's just not necessary to pronounce a verdict. It really requires something more. And then he sits down and he really thinks over it and he writes these lines. A few disquieting, something which I told you causes a feeling of anxiety or worry. Thoughts that have lingered, again very good word. Lingered is something that stays in a place which is more longer than what is necessary. Typical reluctance to leave. You linger on leaving a good place. Even in figurative sense it is used, or I'll say that is literal itself. The perfume lingered long after he or she left the room. Okay, so that way the word lingered is used. Then you have languished. What is languished? So languish is something which does not have vitality. पड़ा हुआ जिसको बोलते हैं ना, बस रखा हुआ है वहाँ पे, पढ़ के सड़ रहा है वो, उस तरह से languishing. In distress, silence. Okay, what is distress? Again, causing your something which causes problem and concern, that is distress. Silence. In mentation, demands expression at the parting with a pulpit touch. So all these words, just read. Distress, I told you, causing anxiety and sorrow. Mentation is very close to meditation, you can think. It's mental activity. Silence and mentation, demand expression at the parting with pulpit touch. What is pulpit touch? Pulpit basically is nothing but a raised platform from which generally all those preachers give their sermon. So that is pulpit, and hence this supplement. So even he knows that he is giving a sermon here. It will be less to do with the verdict itself, but the moral issues that he wants to discuss is something that he wants, that is why he has taken up this piece of writing, and he wants to tell what is wrong with our society at this point of time. Okay, so a few disquieting thoughts that have lingered and languished in distress, silence. In mentation, demand expression at the parting with a pulpit touch, hence this supplement, this extra piece of writing. The attendant fact. The attendant, we all know, something which is accompanying someone. Here the attendant facts is some things which were attending the facts, something which came together with the facts. Circumstances encountered as above. Encountered, you very well know that you came across. Demonstrate deep rooted, something which is entrenched. Conspiratorial design. What is conspiratorial? Conspiratorial is something which is, has ill intentions basically, right? So these are conspiratorial design. To amass is to collect vast assets, to collect large asset for themselves without any compunction. I think compunction is the word which we have discussed earlier, without any morality or say any feeling of guilt, and hold the same through shell entities. This is something which we will discuss in banking, but you should know shell entities are generally the companies of the companies through which they do all their illegal transactions. I will say not strictly illegal, but all those hera-fairy, you can say, they do through shell entities. To cover up the sinister, what is sinister? Anything which has that evil impression of something that is harmful or evil, okay, that is sinister. Again, illicit is illegal. Acquisitions, we already know, something that is acquired. And deceive and delude the purpose of law. So what is deceive and delude? You are trying to fool law, you are trying to deceive, and you are trying to outsmart the process of law. Novelty in the outrages. Novelty, again, the newness in the outrages. Outrages is a very interesting word. Outrage is against say something bad that happened, there is a public outrage. At the same time, terrorists can also commit outrage. So there can be outrage for the outrage committed by X or Y. Please try to understand. Just check up in the dictionary. Outrage is a very interesting word. And the magnitude of the nefarious gains as demonstrated by the revelation in the case are to say the least, are startling, shocking. Okay. And what is nefarious is wicked or criminal. Gains, we all know, demonstrated by the revelation in the case are, to say the least, startling. It is shocking. Okay. So the attendant facts, the accompanying facts, and the circumstances encountered as above demonstrate a deep-rooted conspiratorial design to amass vast asset without any compunction and hold the same through shell entities to cover up the sinister trail of such illicit acquisition and deceive and delude the process of law. So what is the judge saying? It is all very well thought of. They have already thought of. It is purposely planned, well executed things that these guys have done to amass that illegal wealth by trying to cheat and fool the process of law. Novelty in the outrages. The outrages, I told you both the meaning here. It means the outrages committed, the excesses committed. The magnitude of nefarious gain as demonstrated by the revelation in the case are, to say the least, startling. It is much beyond it. It is really shocking, is what judge wants to say. Just look at his language. I wish someday even I could write like him. A growing impression in the contemporary existence seems to acknowledge the all-pervading pestilence. Sorry, let me just go back. Acknowledge all-pervading pestilence, presence of corruption almost in every walk of life. A growing impression in contemporary. It is now well understood in our contemporary existence, in our day-to-day life. We seems to acknowledge the all-pervading. Pervading is something of a smell, but generally it is also used something which is present everywhere, something which is spreading and which is present everywhere. Okay. And the pestilent is something which is destructive to life. So pervading, pestilent presence of corruption. So it is like omnipresent, something which is deadly, presence of corruption almost in every walk of life, and it is now something that we all accept. As just read the next line. As if to rest reconciled to the octopoid stranglehold of the Malays with the helpless awe. We are all grappled by this. We are daily facing it, and now we do not even say anything about it. We have, as if to rest reconciled. हम मान चुके हैं. We are saying that we now agree that this is our fate. As if to rest reconciled to the octopoid stranglehold. उसके चंगुल में फंस जाना is the octopoid stranglehold of this malaise, something which causes unease with helpless awe. और मतलब अभी awe generally is the word which is used जब कुछ अच्छा होता है, when something good happens, you are in awe of something good happened. But this is helpless awe. There is no way out. No, pestilence is not pest-like. Unfortunately, it means something which is destructive to life, deadly. Presence of corruption in, it is pointing to the corruption. Okay. The common day experience indeed do introduce one with unfailing regularity. Just read these lines, unfailing regularity. So, something which is unfailing, it's regular, it is daily. You have to face corruption daily, day in and day out. Variegated cancerous concoctions of corruption. Variegated basically is made up of different colors, patches. Cancerous, we all know, something which spreads. Concoction is the mixture of fuel liquids which are generally given by the people. Concoction is the deadly concoction is generally said when you mix 2 or 3 deadly thing and it becomes even deadlier. So that is the cancerous concoction, something which will spread. And variegated is different shades of color which it has. With fearless impunity, this is again very often used word, with impunity. With impunity means without any fear. Impunity is a word which will come with and it always means without. Okay, with impunity means without fear. So nothing will happen to you. You can just go and walk in and you can shout at your boss because he will not say anything. So you can shout at your boss with impunity, knowing very well that nothing else, nothing will happen to you. It is a public read, Rohit. I think I mentioned it last time also, that clearly shows that nobody has read it also. I mentioned very clearly in one of the classes that we will take this DA, disproportionate asset case. Just Google it. If you don't get it, I will send you the link. Sasikala's disproportionate asset case, Supreme Court verdict. Just type it, you will get it. Okay, just read this. This is free from punishment, exactly, and it always comes with and means without. This is very interesting word. You will always see impunity with the word with. Gnawing, with G silent, into the frame and fabric of nation's essentia. What is gnawing? Gnawing is generally you nibble and bite, constantly irritate someone. It has that sense of biting into and irritating at the same time. Into the frame and fabric of nation's essentia. So what is it doing is, I think someone asked the meaning of octopoid. Octopoid is nothing but like octopus. So octopus has 8 legs, or I do not exactly know how many legs, and just imagine you are in its clutches. That is octopoid stranglehold. वो चंगुल में फंसना जिसको बोलते हैं, that is octopoid stranglehold. Okay. I told you concoction is a mixture of various ingredients put together, and it is cancerous concoction. That means it is harmful. Gnawing into the frame and fabric of nation essentia. So it is biting into the frame of frame and fabric of the nation essentia. It is weakening our society. It's weakening our country. Emboldened by the lucrative yields. Emboldened means you gain strength. You do something and nobody scolded you. You are emboldened. Now you will take something, you will do something more severe. By the lucrative yields of such malignant materialism. So what is malignant? Again, malignant is something which spreads, and this is something ill. So generally cancerous, all these cells, whenever you have tumor, they can be of 2 kinds. Malignant, which spreads, and hence cancerous, and otherwise benign. So malignant is something which is harmful. Materialism. Materialism is again the act, or say, it defines your say greed for, or your want for acquiring more and more. That is materialism. The perpetrators of this malady, again malady is something which is bad, which again something which is having to do something evil to others. The perpetrators, we have already told you, someone who is doing this thing are the perpetrators, and generally perpetrators of good things you will never see. Yes, malign opposite is benign. Perpetrators will always come to explain or say to say point out some ill things. So if you are doing something wrong, only then I will say you are perpetrator of crime. If you are doing charity, I will generally not say that you are perpetrator of charity. Okay. Have tightened the noose on societal psyche. Just read this. This is lovely. Perpetrators of this malady have tightened the noose. Noose is again that वो फंदा जो होता है ना, the round thing which you put across your neck, or generally is put to hang someone. That is the noose on societal psyche. So psyche is your deep feelings, your thoughts. So what is happening is, emboldened by this lucrative yields of such malignant materialism, the perpetrators of this malady have tightened their noose on societal psyche. वो now they are going a step forward, and it's something we are now, they're kind of strangulating us and making us accept whatever is happening here. They have more and more hold towards it, and we are kind of suffocating in this news, and still we can't do anything. Individual and collective pursuits with curative interventions at all levels are thus indispensable to deliver the civil order from this asphyxiating snare of this escalating venality. Just in just one line, how many wonderful words. Individual and collective, we all know, just not from individual but as society as a whole, there should be pursuit. Pursuit is again, you go towards a cause, you want to do something, that is your pursuit, with curative intervention. So curative is something which is meant to cure. So idea should be to cure the society of this ills. The intervention is again, you get in between something and you try to solve the problem. That is intervention. At all levels are indispensable. Now you cannot do without it. You just cannot sit down as victims. You will have to come out to cure the society of this evil, to deliver the civil order from this asphyxiating. What is asphyxiating? Is something which is kind of strangulating you or choking you. It is not letting you breathe. Snare again is that noose kind of things wherein you generally used to catch hold of animals in when they are hunting, etc. That is snare. Of this escalating, constantly increasing venality. I think this word everyone should know. With fearless impunity means, please explain once again. With fearless impunity, I told you, impunity will always come with this word with, and with impunity means without any fear. With impunity means you very well know that you will get away with. That is with impunity. If you do something with impunity, that means you are very sure that you will not get caught or you will not be punished for it. Okay, that is with impunity. And asphyxiating, I told you, snare is the noose again, which is used to catch hold of the animal. Of this escalating venality, I think this is something which we discussed in last class. Everyone should know. You remember the venal and venial. Okay, venal was corruptible, escalating corruption. This is what people are selling their soul. That is what the author, the judge wants to mention here. Okay, I hope this is clear. Venality is corruption. I think we already discussed this. This is more than just fraud. This is extreme degree of corruption. Something simply not venial, which is pardonable. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to the next one. In the alarming backdrop of coeval actuality. Okay, this is again very good word. Coeval. Coeval is contemporary. You can use this. This is a very good word. Contemporary. In the above alarming backdrop of coeval actuality, the contemporary whatever things which is happening in reality, judicial adjudication. What is education? This is pronouncement of the verdict, etc. That is adjudication of the charges based on anti-corruption law, motivated by the impelling necessities of time, has to be informed with the desired responsibility and the legislative vision therefore. Okay, so thereof I think it should be. So what does it mean? Let us now just education. I already told you. I think coeval is the contemporary. Education, I told you, something related to the formal judgment. Impelling is drive or force which makes you do something. All right. So that is impelling necessity. So this corruption has become the impelling necessity for the judges to take some corrective action. That is impelling. Something which is driving you to take some action. Necessities of time, the need of time, has to be informed with the desired responsibility and the legislative vision thereof. So now both the things have to be taken care. What does judge want to say? We will not go only by the spirit of letter, but we will also try to understand what is the need of this society. That is what he will hint when he goes to the next line. Any interpretation of the provision of such law has to be essentially purposive. I think that's how it is pronounced, purposive. Purposive is with purpose. Quite elegant word. I never used this. I never heard of this word before. With purpose I would use, never purposive. in furtherance of its mission and not in retrogression. What is retrogression? Going back in time and generally in a worse state. So if you choose a leader who does not work on say the progress of the country, your country will be, it'll get into that retrogression mode, and it'll go in a stage, in a earlier stage, and most likely a bad state, even worse than where it was. So the furtherance and retrogression, you can see there directly the opposite. Okay, so any interpretation of the provision of such law. What is provision of such law? Whatever provision, what is provision? You generally use for something which is in store, you're in your storeroom, right? So even in provision of such law, whatever is in store, how these laws can be interpreted, that is the provision of such law. What does that law entail? That is the provision of law. So any interpretation of the provision, when something is written, we can always interpret it in different ways. I think syllogism has already given it, given us a feel of it. Different people can interpret same sentence in different way, and with law, where a lot of subtleties are involved, it is more likely that more than one interpretation can be taken out. So judge mentions any interpretation of the provision of such law has to be essentially purposive. So all the whatever meaning you take out of such law, it should be with a purpose and in furtherance, in taking it further of its mission and not retrogression thereof. So it should not take it behind. It should be taking the law, the institution, the fabric of the integrity of the country forward, and should not push it behind. That is what judge wants to say. Innovative nuances. Now he is now hinting at all the lawyers who are trying to defend Sasikala. Just read, amazing writing. Innovative nuances of evidential inadequacies, processual infirmities and interpretational subtleties, artfully advanced in defense, otherwise intangible and inconsequential. Just read this. So what is judge hinting at? Innovative nuances. Now all these lawyers who were in favor of Sasikala, or who were fighting the case for Sasikala, are now bringing the innovative nuances. What is nuances? Something which you get in and you take out. The subtleties of it are the nuances. Okay, so the innovative, a subtle difference in shade, etc., are called the nuances, and innovative is something which is new. Of the evidential inadequacies, which is processes or infirmities. So what is this? Your inadequacies is whatever is not enough. What does generally happen in court of law or in court is judge will sit down and he will wait for both the sides to present their fact, and if the facts are enough, or say the proofs are enough to try the alleged culprit, he will be tried. So now this innovative nuances of evidential inadequacy. So these guys are now, whatever the evidence are, they are trying to find the subtleties in this and trying to say no, this point is not. Now if line says A should be greater than B or something, now he says no, the A itself is not clearly defined, the B is not defined, what is greater than, how is it defined, things like that. So innovative nuances of evidential inadequacies. Processual infirmities. So what is infirmities? Something which is physical or mental weakness is what we talk about. So processual infirmities, so there is some flaw in the process itself. So these lawyers are now banking on that, the nuances and processual infirmities and interpretational subtleties. So now if A can greater than B or A not equal to B can be interpreted as A greater than B and also less than B, so why we are taking only A greater than B and why not A less than B? So they are getting into the nitties and gritties and somehow trying to save their client. Artfully, again this is a wonderful word. It means with some skill, but generally it is nowadays it is used as cunning. So I'll not say if you are doing some noble cause, I'll not say you artfully expounded your whatever you wanted to explain. Artfully is generally with that sense of cunningness. Advanced in defense, otherwise intangible and inconsequential. Okay, so what is the judge saying? All these subtleties, evidence nuances, processual infirmities, interpretational subtleties, they are all intangible, nothing can be felt. These I cannot put my hands to. they are inconsequential, they just do not mean anything. Okay, and these are something which these lawyers are bringing in. That is why when he started, he said it is not just about the law in the letters, but in spirit that we should talk, and therefore he was giving his sermon. Ought to be conscientiously cast aside. Okay, what does this mean? Again, in your full knowledge, conscientiously means you are totally aware, you are taking a well known decision. So all this is good, for in the spirit of letter it is all good, but no, I will conscientiously cast it aside with moral maturity. Just say it was not about the spirit of letter, it was the spirit of law or the well-being of the society that he wants to talk about, and the singular sensitivity to uphold the statutory sanctity. Statutory means something which is defined by the law, what our constitution has formed. Sanctity is the pureness. So just because something is written in letter and and because of the cunningness of the lawyer, I will not let this thing go. It has to be much more and beyond that. We have seen what our society is now engulfed with, so we have to get our society out of this malaise, and that is what we should all work towards, and that is what the judge wants to say. Lest the coveted cause of justice is causality. So what is the lest? This is again a very good word, you should, I think, know. Lest is with the intention of preventing something. Lest is not unless, it is not that lest, it is something with the intention of preventing something undesirable, to avoid something. Coveted, something which you earned for, something that you want. The cause of justice is the causality. Now if judge says that if it is because of the our system of judiciary itself has become the cause of this, only then we should leave it. But if you really want to not go by the letter but the spirit of it, we should hold the spirit and not the letter, and serve justice is what he wants to mention. Okay, I hope this is clear. Not getting the okay, let me just go back, last 3 lines. Okay, last 3 lines, it starts from here, right? Otherwise intangible and inconsequential ought to be conscientiously cast aside with moral maturity and singular sensitivity to uphold. Singular sensitivity means just with one purpose of, singular is one, and sensitivity is respecting the your say sensitivity, or something which we all something which is close to our heart, that is something which is sensitive, right? So what he's saying, what these 4 lines mean, I'll just explain that. Innovative nuances of evidential inadequacies, processual infirmities, and interpretational subtleties, artfully advanced and defense, otherwise intangible and inconsequential. I hope this is clear. He is talking about the the lawyers of Sasikala who are coming up with subtleties, what is written in the laws, and trying to interpret law in different way and trying to free their client. But what the judge is saying, all this artfulness, cunningness has to be set aside, and it ought to be consciously cast aside. What it's saying, because these are intangible, we all know they are just playing with words, there is really nothing tangible in it. All they are doing is trying to fool around with what is written. So it has to be consciously cast aside with moral maturity. If I go by writing, I will have to accept it, but no, something more is important here. Our society is plagued by this corruption, so morality now takes the precedence, and because of the moral necessity today, with the singular sensitivity to uphold the statutory sanctity. So he is saying today the need is not to go by the word, but to uphold the what is the law. What is the law made for? The sanctity, the purity of the law is made for the betterment of society, and that is the need of the hour, to uphold that purity and sanctity of whatever our forefathers have given this constitution to us, and all the decisions should happen because of that, and not just because what is written in letters and why it can be manipulated and interpreted in different way. Lest, now the word comes, lest. What does lest mean? I told you, to avoid the risk of, to kind of forbid. The coveted cause of justice is the causality. Now if you say, even if people look forward to the justice. They look at the our judiciary system with hope that they will at least do. Now if that itself is the cause, then the judge cannot do. But if the this process of judiciary is not the cause of such corruption, etc., then it is the time that it puts a check on what is happening around in our society. Okay, I hope this is now clear. Okay, read it again, you will understand it. Okay, this is some wonderful piece of writing, guys. You need to read it at least 5-10 times. You will not get bored and you will keep learning something. All the words I have tried to explain, even you can look up in dictionary. Try to internalize the thought and feeling of the author here. Amazing. It's a beautiful piece of writing. Okay, corruption is the vice. I think vice we all know. What is vice? It is immoral of wicked behavior. Corruption is the vice which is immoral or wicked behavior, we all know. Insatiable avarice. This is amazing. Insatiable, something which cannot be satisfied. What is avarice? Is greed. So corruption is a wicked thing of insatiable avarice. Corruption happens because we have that unending want or unending greed of self-aggrandizement. What is aggrandizement? Making yourself more wealthy, more powerful. That is aggrandizement. By the unscrupulous. I think scrupulous, you very well know, is something good. Someone who has that moral compass. That is scrupulous, unscrupulous. The three words I think we have discussed in detail. So by the unscrupulous, who do not have any moral compass, taking unfair advantage of their power and authority, and those in public office. In breach again is to try to break the trust of someone, of the institutional norms, the institutional rules, mostly backed by military loyalists. This is again a good word. Military is someone, वो डंडे वाले होते हैं ना साथ में खड़े, they are the military. These guys who threaten with power, they are the military loyalist again, who will be there with you till your end. They will always stand by you. But who are the military loyalists? These are the guys who are directly benefit from your corruption. You are paying them and they will stand with their stick and they will threaten others who if they try to question you. Both the corrupt and the corruptors are indictable. What is indictable? Someone who is liable to be tried in court. They are indictable and answerable to society and country as a whole. So both the corrupt and the corruptors are indictable. That is what he is saying. So he is not just pointing out the corrupt, he is also telling those who are paying these bribes, they are also equally accountable. This is more particularly I think this is some misprint there, is more particularly for the people's representative. Let's read like that. For the people representative in public office, committed by the oath of office to dedicate oneself. Dedicate is to totally kind of give himself to the unqualified welfare of the laity. Unqualified, it is not really stated, but it is understood. जैसे बोलते हैं ना, हम तो जनता के सेवक हैं, हम तो नौकर हैं, जनता के नौकर हैं. That is what it means. Unqualified welfare of the laity. Laity is the janta, the common people. So they have taken in the office, they have taken this oath that they will do everything for the betterment of the commoners, and what they end up doing is amass wealth for themselves by illegal means, not even legally. By faithfully, we all know, and consciously discharging their duties attached thereto in accordance with the constitution, free from fear or favor or affection or ill will. So they have taken this oath without fear, and without favor. They will not favor anyone. They will not come and say, because I like you, I'll do something for you. At the same time, he will not fear someone that now because he is coming and pointing a gun at me, so I will start doing a thing for you. So free from fear or favor or affection and ill will. Just because वो मेरा चाचा है, I will start doing for ये, और नहीं वो तो मेरा बुरा रिश्तेदार है जिसने he did some ill to me, so I will go against. No, it is common for one and all. They want to do good for one and all. That is what free from fear of favor or affection or ill will. That is what they have taken oath, and what they end up doing we all know. They just try to serve themselves. That is what, the judge is really appalled by such behavior of these politicians and those in the office, using the constitutional post for their and only their benefit and not for the janta. Okay, a self-serving conduct in defiance of such solemn undertaking, a self-serving conduct. Okay, let me just go back. Conduct, we all know. What is self-serving conduct? You are doing things, that is your conduct in defiance. Defiance is open rebellion. You openly do it. Everyone is seeing, that Sasikala under Jayalalitha, she is, on a rampage. Their entire clan was, I do not know what exactly is the word in Tamil, but entire Tamil Nadu knows them as, the getter of wealth by, ill means. I think the mafia, yeah, I think the mafia, I do not know the exact word in Tamil, that is the word they use. Okay, formal and dignified, solemn undertaking. So this is something which is written already, formal and dignified. It is already defiance of something which you took the oath, which was written and dignified, is an infringement of the community's confidence. What is infringement? You act of breaking the law, that is the infringement of the community's confidence reposed. You repose your belief, your confidence, you believe them. That is your, you repose something, your faith in someone, you believe them in them, is therefore a betrayal of the promise of the allegiance to the constitution and a condemnable sacrilege. So again, what is this now? Just see the word here now. Allegiance, the promise of allegiance to the constitution. They said that they will always stick to, and what are they ultimately doing? They are betraying their promise. They are not being true to their promise, and allegiance to the constitution and condemnable sacrilege. Sacrilege, I think we all know what is condemnable. It is something which deserves rebuke or censure. Okay, and sacrilege is violation or misuse of something which is regarded as sacred. Our constitution is regarded sacred by all of us, and when they have taken the oath of doing something but they end up doing exact opposite of it, it is sacrilege. You are written, it is written down, you sign it in front of entire people of this country. You stand, मैं ये और ये शपथ लेता हूँ कि मैं जनता की सेवा करूँगा, और बस आप अपनी सेवा करते हो. That is condemnable sacrilege. That is what why I keep saying author, the judge wants to say. I hope this is clear. Okay, so sacrilege is violation or misuse which is generally regarded sacred. Here it means it is pointing towards our constitution. Not only such a character is an anathema. I think this is the word we already read, anathema, something which is abhorrible, which is detestable, to the preambular promise of justice. What is preambular? Something which is written in our preamble. I think there should not be any this. Preambular is something which is part of our constitution. We, the people of India, having the solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist and all those. So it is already there in our preamble. And what does it say? The justice, the liberty or freeness, equality, fraternal dignity. What is fraternal? I hope you know. Fraternal is the brother, that the feeling of brotherhood. That is fraternal. Okay, and the fraternal dignity, I hope we all know, means the respect, etc. So the brotherly love, respect, unity and integrity of the country. Yes, I think we have already discussed that anathema. Now, which expectantly ought to animate the life and spirit of every citizen of this country. Which expectantly ought to, all these preambular promise are kind of it is bringing us to our life. It is animates something, is to bring something to life, creating that curiosity or that say your awareness. It is animating the life and spirit of every citizen of this country, but also is an unpardonable onslaught on the constitutional religion that forms the bedrock of our democratic polity. Unpardonable, something is non-forgivable. So it is not a peccadillo, it's not venial. Is onslaught is something, you go and hit it with an intention to kill. That is, unpardonable onslaught on the constitutional religion. So what is written in our constitution, it is against that. That forms a bedrock for our democratic polity. We are very proud of democracy, and the polity is the rule by the people, or the governance, a process of the civil government, that is polity. So that very well forms. So now these guys who take the oath to serve the office and serve the people, written formal undertaking, they are doing the sacrilege. They are just insulting our constitution. That is kind of shaking our entire, the formation, the bedrock of our democracy, our polity. I think I already formal and dignified, I told how many times. It's written also now. Solemn is formal and dignified. So solemn undertaking is what is written. It is already written. It's just not in word, it is written also. It is formal, everyone knows about it. It did not happen in closed room. It is well laid out. Bedrock, something on which something is built. Something, say trust is the bedrock of relationship. That is the bedrock, something on which you build something. It generally figuratively used. Something is the bedrock of something on which you trust. Agar ye hil jayega, then everything comes crumbling. That is the bedrock basically. Okay, any other thing that you want to understand here? Allegiance, I think we have, you swear your allegiance that I will always be true to something. That is allegiance. Anathema, I think this is, Rohit, we already did it in our previous, say, mnemonic class also, right? Anathema, you like Anna, but Anathema does not like you and you do not like her. Something which is abhorrable, detestable, strong dislike, that is anathema. Okay, let's move forward now. This pernicious menace, I think pernicious is also the word which we have already discussed in, I think, one of the mock analysis. Pernicious is having harmful effect, especially in gradual way. Now I can't say the same for corruption. This pernicious menace, we all know what is it? A person or thing which is likely to cause harm. Stemming again means something which originates from somewhere. Of moral debasement. What is debasement? Something which is adulterated. Basically you are moving ahead from the right path. That is debasement. So some kind of adulteration, you can say. Of the culpables, apart from destroying the sinews again is an I think a good word. It's a piece of a fibrous tissue basically which joins your bones and tendons and ligament, more biology, but here it is used as as the fabric, something which is holding things together. That is what the sinews means. Destroying the sinews of nations, structural and moral setup. So this corruption is kind of breaking it down. Forges and unfair. Forges again is the word which we have already learned. It establishes a strong relationship and it helps them. An unfair advantage of the dishonest over the principled. Now just see this pernicious menace stemming from the moral debasement of the culpables, all those who have done this crime, because of their menace. What is happening is it is now kind of forging in society. It is creating an unfair advantage to the dishonest over the principle. Jo log are true to the principle, they are feeling disadvantaged. They see only the corrupts are growing in the society. It is they who are succeeding in the society. So all those who are principled and moral are also at moment they are questioning their principle. Is it really worth being principled in this society where corruption has already entangled every section of the society? So we see this is an unfair advantage that these dishonest people are having. Widening as well the divide between the haves and have-nots. What are the haves and have-nots? जिनके पास पैसे हैं और जिनके पास पैसे नहीं. Those who have the resources and those who do not have the resources in terms of money, power, etc. not only has this demoralized, what is demoralizing? Demoralizing is, when you get less marks in a mock, you feel demoralized, which you ideally should not, you should analyze. But yeah, this corruption is definitely demoralizing, it is upsetting, bearing on those who are ethical, honest, upright and enterprising, all those who feel that honesty is good, they never do wrong thing, they are ethical, they will their moral compass, they are scrupulous people, and they are enterprising, they value resource, they want to do something good. It is visible antithetical to the quintessential spirit of fundamental duty of every citizen to strive towards excellence in all sphere of individual and collective activity to raise the nation to higher level of endeavor and achievement. Now, so what is happening is, all these people who are ethical, honest, upright and enterprising, it is visibly antithetical, they feel that it is just not correct, it goes against their common wisdom. Okay, directly opposed to or contrasted is what means by antithetical. Okay, so antithetical to the quintessential, the most perfect example of something. So quintessential spirit of fundamental duty of every citizen, that is what it was, right? To be ethical, honest, upright and enterprising. But when they see the corruption in every walk of life, and they see all these corrupt people are succeeding in their life, then it becomes antithetical to the quintessential spirit of the fundamental duty of every citizen. उनको लगता है हम तो बेवकूफ़ बन रहे हैं यार, हम ऑनेस्ट, अच्छे और सही होकर के तो हमारा बस बेवकूफ़ बनाया जा रहा है. All these corrupt people are actually gaining in their life. We are the people who are failing. So all these words antithetical to the quintessential spirit of fundamental duty of citizen to strive toward excellence in all sphere of individual and collective activity to raise the nation to higher level of endeavor. What is your endeavor and achievement? This is the process with which you put in effort, that is your endeavor. You put in hard work, that is your endeavor for success in your examination. You put in a lot of effort, that is your endeavor to achievement. So what is happening here? So entire the fundamental of the honest people are shaken. Ethic, honesty, their uprightness, their enterprising, they all go for toss when they see that only the people who are cheating, corrupt, they are the one who are getting all the advantages. Okay, preambular, read it together. What is written in preamble? So it is preambular basically. Okay, something which is there in our preamble. I hope you all have read and know your preamble. I think that's class 6 first page, and I think in all the civics book, I think at least you had that preamble in the first page, we the people of India. Read it and learn it, I will say. It is again good piece of writing. Okay, let us just now move forward. Okay, this virulent affliction triggers an imbalance in society's existential strata. I think today someone pointed out that strata should be the plural also. I think I agree. But here let's focus on the vocabulary here. This virulent affliction triggers imbalance in society's existential strata. Again, just read these lines. Okay. What is virulent? It is extreme or severe, something which is harmful in its effect. Okay, affliction, something which causes pain. Okay, so something harmful which causes pain triggers an imbalance. It kind of gets things going, an imbalance in the society's existential strata. What is existential? Which is related to our existence. So now we are questioning our existence itself. These harmful things which are harming us, it is kind of questioning our existence itself and stalls constructive progress. Just now think, why will all this enterprising people go for work? वो बेचारे पूरी लाइफ मेहनत करके जितना कमाएंगे उतना ये नेता लोग 10 दिन में कमा लेते हैं, और their sidekicks are earning more than that in 10 days. In just one contract they will end up making. So that kind of just read about the kind of wealth these guys amass. So this stalls the constructive progress. So I, as an enterprising person, will stop. I'll think, guys, I'll talk to myself, am I doing something wrong? मतलब honest होकर के मैं ही तो कुछ गलत नहीं कर रहा हूँ ना, मतलब is this the way society is it means to run? Then am I the person who is actually wrong, who is upholding ethics and integrity? So this is stalling the constructive progress, because even the enterprising true people are now questioning themselves. Okay, the overall well-being of the nation, besides disrupting its dynamics of fiscal governance. And also all these guys definitely are doing it by ill-gotten means, or they are amassing this wealth, quite sure they are not paying taxes for it. So all this wealth generated of course even goes outside the government's kitty also. So the dynamics of fiscal governance is also going for a toss first, because of all this money which has been acquired because of cheating. And now, since the constructive progress of the country also stalls, so at both the place our country is getting hampered because of these guys who are cheating our country, and thereby creating question in the minds of young, enterprising, true and honest people as well. It encourages defiance of the rule of law and propensities for the easy materialistic harvest. Now what happens, अब जिसके पास ये थोड़ा सा दिमाग है, whoever has little brain, he sees, यार why will I work all my life when I can cheat and get that money in just a month or 2 months, and and with impunity I will anyways not get caught. It encourages defiance of rule of law. So everyone will start saying, if these person can get away with it, let us also try, we may also get away with it. And if money is the thing which can buy us justice, or buy us power to get away with it, we will also do it. And the propensity, your tendency, your inclination for easy materialistic harvest, so your tendency to get all these ill-gotten wealth, whereby the society's soul stands defiled, devalued and denigrated. What is defiled is spoiled, devalued again making of less value, and denigrated is severely criticized or disparaged. So when I denigrate, I will generally not have a cause behind it. So if you are denigrated, I just felt like I just scolded you, I debased you, I disparaged you, I criticized you unfairly, that is denigrated. So you see what is happening because of corruption. Now it is having a vicious cycle kind of effect, wherein now even honest people want to take their chances and try to try their hands on all this. Propensity is your inclination towards doing something, your propensity for easy materialistic harvest. That means you are also now becoming venal, you are also becoming corrupt. Okay, let us now move to the second last paragraph. Such is the militant dominance, this word again is the combative or aggressive in support of a politic or a social cause. So the militant dominance of this sprawling evil, which is corruption, is what is being talked about. Dominance is their जिसको बोलते हैं प्रभुत्व, उसका what do you say, their stronghold, the dominance of this sprawling is something which is spreading in all direction. That is sprawling evil, which is corruption. That majority of the sensible, rational and discreet constituents of the society, imbued with moral values and groomed with disciplinal ethos, find themselves in minority. So now what is happening is, such is the militant dominance of this sprawling evil. अब ये इतना फैल गया है this corruption with their dominance and their sprawling evil, which is corruption, is now pervading, or it is spreading everywhere, that majority of the sensible, rational, discreet constituents of the society, who is discreet, can you say, all those who who are very careful with their speech and writing. So all these guys who are sensible, who will generally not do any irrational thing, and they are discreet, they are careful about what is the rule of law, वो pollution का भी एक दिन लेट से सर्टिफिकेट नहीं बनाएंगे. All these kind of guys who are constituent of the society, imbued, what is imbued, inspire or permeate with the feeling of equality. Okay, that is society imbued, okay, with the moral values, imbued with the moral values, inspired by. So inspired by the moral values and groomed you very well know with the disciplinal ethos. Ethos again is a very strong word, is the moral fabric of our country. So you will hear, if you do a lot of reading, you will always hear this ethos, pathos and logos. This is ancient Greek. This is what the ancient Greeks used to, when they used to speak, they said if you can arouse any of these three, you will be a successful speaker. So first is logos, which is logic. If people are all intelligent, they will listen to your logic. Then second comes ethos. What is ethos? What is the current moral fabric of the country? What is their current understanding? What society needs, etc. That is the ethos. What is the society constituted of, or what is it made up of? Finally, this is pathos. Pathos is not logic but emotion. If you can drive their emotion, most of the time you will see all the politicians will be playing on their pathos and not on logos, because unfortunately we are not that educated. We do not try to reason out. Okay, and ethos is still, I think this is the pathos to ethos to logos is a journey, is my personal feeling. Okay, beside estranged and resigned by practical compulsions. Now see, estranged and resigned. What is estranged? Estranged daughters or estranged children, you would have heard of someone who leaves their parent, etc. Okay, no longer in close relationship. They are the estranged spouses also. Now if your relationship is no more there, you become estranged. So now these guys who were part of the society, now they feel estranged and resigned by the practical compulsion. यार उनके पास और भी बहुत कुछ है करने को लाइफ में. They have lot of other practical things. उनको ऑफिस जाना होता है, उनको अपने बच्चों का ख्याल रखना होता है, उनको अपने घर की EMI भरनी होती है. They have hundreds of things to do. वो रोड पर आकर के मोर्चा नहीं निकाल सकते. They can't come with a flag on their hand and they are estranged. They feel अब तो भैया सोसाइटी और हम अलग अलग हो चुके हैं, resigned by the practical compulsion and are left dejected and disillusioned. So they are now very sad and they really do not know what they should do in their life now with all this. That is why when the judge started, he said, now we are resigned to that octopoid hold and we are in that hapless or the helpless awe. A collective committed courageous turnaround. A collective, सबको मिल करके and committed. We have to it should not be a one day affair कि एक दिन मार्च निकाला, चलो 7 जनवरी को जाते हैं इंडिया गेट पे खड़े हो जाते हैं and everything will get all right. No, a collective committed and courageous turn around is thus the present day imperative to free the civil order from the suffocative throttle. This is again amazing, suffocative and throttle. So what is suffocative? Is something which is mothering you, something which is kind of having that difficulty in breathing, something which is causing you not able to breathe. And throttle, basically your engine, generally a device which controls the power. So that suffocative throttle जो ये हो चुका है ना, ये जो politicians or these guys who are, or the corruption, anyone and everyone who is encouraging corruption is putting on this society. We have to free this civil order from that suffocative throttle of this deadly affliction. What is affliction? Something that causes pain, etc. Okay. So a collective committed courageous turnaround is thus present day imperative. What is imperative? I think we know of vital importance or something which is crucial in today's context to free the civil order from suffocative throttle of this deadly affliction which is the corruption. Okay, I hope this is clear. Okay, now this is the last part of it. Sacrosanct, I think, is the only word here. Every citizen has to be partner in this sacrosanct. Sacrosanct will mean what? Something which is regarded too important to be questioned or to be interfered with. Holy, you can say. This sacrosanct mission, which is to get rid society of corruption. If we aspire for a stable, just, ideal society order as envisioned by our forefathers and fondly, lovingly cherished, something which we want by the numerous self-efficacing, I think this is the word which we already discussed. These are the people who are there but they generally do not want to come in limelight. Self-efficacing crusaders, these are the people who are fighting for it but they really do not want to come in the limelight. They want to work behind the scene of a free and independent Bharat, taking the pledge of their countless sacrifices and selfless commitment without thinking that it will really at the end, benefit you for such cause. That is the need of the hour today. Okay. So I think with this we have kind of concluded, and I think we have already discussed it in great detail. So please go through it. Let me just kind of come back. So I think we have learned quite good words today. Go through this passage. This is, I think I have discussed any and every single word which I felt was difficult. Please go through it. Read it 10 times. Trust me, you will be able to read this in 5 minutes. So in 1 hour you will be able to read it 10 times with all the meanings that I have already told you. I think in 1 hour I have explained each and every meaning in great detail. At least try it from my end. If you want to get into the nuances of the words that the author, the judge has used, please try to use a good dictionary and go through it. This is how we build vocabulary, and this is what Abhishek sir mentioned. This is developing vocabulary in context. You read it. Most of these words, when you read it 4 or 5 times, you will not forget, and you will also know how it is used, how and how beautifully he has used. Just look at the command over language. The word outrageous, how he has used. Just look at the dictionary. You will love this writing. So I think with that, I don't think there is an immediate need of revision. You can just watch this video again. It will do the same thing. We have taken vocabulary classes. We'll try to make it just 1 hour. I think 40-50 words at least we would have learned today. Just go through 1 hour, 40-50 good words in context, knowing its usage. I think it's a good investment. Okay. So I hope you again is my sincere feeling when I take a session that you end up learning something. So guys, please keep learning, put up a lot of hard work. And I see some messages wherein you feel dejected at times when your score is low in mocks. Do not worry about it. Trust me, do not worry about it. It happens with everyone. Just don't forget to analyze. See, I can, without analyzing, I can tell you what are the mistakes you have done. You have not chosen your questions carefully. You have wasted unnecessary time on few of the questions. You did not start with your strength. You started with the questions which appeared on your screen first. You did not, analyze your last test also properly, and that is why you made the same mistake again. Just do this. Trust me, getting 50-55 marks is really a cakewalk. Anyone can do it if he has put in even little amount of serious effort. I'm not saying that scoring 70 is easy, but 50-55, clearing your cutoffs will be really easy. Anyone can get it. Do you think really more than 40,000 students will be really working day in and day out on this exam? No, trust me not. Just don't make those silly mistakes and you are done. Choose your strength. You should know by now कि 15-20 marks मेरे maths में किन topics में आने हैं. Daily I'll take a mock, I'll analyze this, I do those questions. Worst case scenario is these will not appear in examination. Then all of you will face problem, right? All the students will face that problem. Why are you preparing for that eventuality? Prepare first for certainty and then the eventuality. Okay, that is my suggestion. You will get 50-55 marks. It's very easy. Try getting 15 to 20 marks in English. Even if you are very weak in English, work on your vocabulary, you can get it. Don't get dejected. Don't relent at this moment. At this point of time, you have worked very hard on it. Keep up the momentum. You will sail through. Get my, keep my words in your, mind. Just keep working hard. Analyze your mistakes. Don't repeat in the next mock. 14 days are good enough. Even if somebody has not done anything in last 50-60 days, if he starts today and smartly analyzes his mistakes, in 15 days I can bet he will clear prelims. With that confidence I can say, trust me, you do it, you will be able to do it. Just avoid those silly mistakes, 4 or 5 things that I have asked you not to do it, you will sail through. Okay, so with that I will enough gyan, I will just call it a day. Thank you very much guys for listening to me patiently. Work hard, keep working hard, very crucial 14-15 days.